Lesson 32. Our textbook calls these word problems, but they're not like our usual word problems where we would say, write down everything that you know, write down what you're trying to find out, and then solve. In this case, we're combining two things we know. We know how to write algebraic expressions or numerical expressions from algebraic phrases. So in other words, we know how to change words into numbers and equations and operations. And then we're going to combine that with solving equations. That's where this find the number comes in. So first we're going to set up an equation. We're going to take a look at this algebraic phrase. We're going to set up an equation. And then we're going to find the number we're going to solve. Let's try one. We start with the statement, the sum of twice a number and 13 is 75. So let's create that. The sum of twice a number and 13 is equals 75. Let's reread that and make sure we've got it right. The sum of twice a number and 13. That's what we've got. Twice a number and 13 is 75. I think we've got it all set here. And then, so that's the first part, or the first step in each of these problems. The second step is find the number. In other words, solve. Our goal is n by itself. We don't have n by itself. We are multiplying n by 2 and adding 13. Let's start by subtracting 13. What we do to one side, we do to the other to keep it an equation. Positive and negative 13 cancel out. 2n equals 62. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. N equals 31. You could always plug this back in. Original equation was 2, I need to write it like that, 2n plus 13 equals 75. If we plugged in 31 for n, 2 times 31 would be 62, right? 62 plus 13, is that 75? It is 75, so even though we got it correct because we could plug it back in. We can do that with all of these. Find a number, that's like saying solve when you're done, such that 13 less than twice the number, so 13 less than twice the number, 13 less than twice the number is 137, is equals 137. 13 less than twice the number is 137. Find the number. Alright, so we've got our equation set up. Now we got to solve. We got to find the number. (2n) equals 150 divide by 2 divide by 2. N equals 75. And we could check. 2 times 75 is 150, minus 13 is 137, so we are correct. Alright, let's do one more. Find a number, that's like our solve when we're done, which decreased by 18, so find a number which when decreased by 18 equals 5 times its opposite. So find a number that when you decrease it by 18, it equals 5 times its opposite. So 5 times its opposite. Its opposite would be negative n. Let's reread that. Find a number which, when decreased by 18, equals 5 times its opposite. So I think we're correct here. Let's work to solve. We've got n's on both sides here. I'm just going to rewrite this as n minus 18 equals negative 5n. So that's really what we have here. 5 times negative n is negative 5n. We need to eliminate the n's from one side, so we can add 5n here, or subtract n over here. Let's subtract n. we've got negative 18 equals negative 6n. Divide by negative 6, divide by negative 6. 1 times n is n. N equals 18 divided by 6 is 3. The signs become positive, so when you divide a negative by a negative you get a positive, so n equals 3. Let's plug that in just because it's kind of interesting. And this 3 minus 18, see if it works, equals 5 times negative 3. 3 minus 18 is negative 15, and 5 times negative 3, negative 15. We're correct. Combining two things we know how to solve equations, and we know how to take these phrases and English words and change them into algebraic phrases, written out in numbers, operations, and values.